Today we're going to share with you how to finish 2019 strong. And I know, there's a lot of pressure to always, stick with our goals and make sure that we're not, deterring off track. But Michael and I really do feel that it's really important this time of the year, specifically when we're, rounding out the third quarter of the year and entering into the last quarter of the year, to really go back and refocus on what it is that we intended to get done in the year. And we really like to motivate this community, and keep you guys on track for keeping those goals that you set, what was it now, 9 months ago, 8 months ago, 9 months ago, right? 9, 10, 11, 12, yeah, 9 months ago.
Almost 10.
And give you permission to get that energy and that drive and that motivation back to finish this year strong. So no matter what your goals were back in January, they can be reignited going into October and in the middle of November and rounding out the year in December. And oftentimes what happens when you refocus on those goals that you originally set up for yourself is that you set yourself up for an amazing new year. You have momentum, you have drive, you have some wins on your side. And so when January rolls around, you're not one of those New Year's resolution frantic people trying to play catch up with everything else that's going on in the new year. You already have everything in place to be successful, and we are just going to resume as normal.
Yep, absolutely.
So how do you finish 2019 strong? We really do just go back to all of the things that we had on our schedule or to-do list or dream list or wherever it is that you're writing down what you want to do for a new year. We go back to that and reevaluate as if it's like day one. We look at the things that are working beautifully for us and we just resume as normal. And then the things that aren't working so well, we go back and we ask ourselves a series of questions like, why is this not working well? Was it the wrong intention? Was it the wrong goal? Do we need to put some new things in place to make sure that we can execute it if it's still deemed as something that's important to us and worthy of our time or energy? And then we just put our head down and we go after it.
Hi, Cal.
Our dog wants to be in the conversation. She's so sweet. So I want to share with you a couple of things that we're doing and some tools that we use to kind of really help us stay focused and on track. So we're always in the mindset of revamping health and fitness goals. We have some things that we're doing to close out this year and really push things to the next level with what we're doing with our fasting long and feasting well and training smart. And so for me, I've already established this a few weeks ago. I am giving up any kind of social drinking, alcohol, adult beverages, however you want to call it, for the remainder of 2019. And I made that goal for myself because the deeper I get into this lifestyle that I've created for myself with fasting and feasting and really getting after the workouts that I have planned for myself, the one thing that I've really noticed that's stalling my progress or making me feel like I'm not where I want to be 100% of the time is that occasional cocktail on a Friday night. Or, for us, we have really lax weekdays now. And so even like that cocktail on a Wednesday and then you wake up Thursday and you're feeling tired. And I feel like, why am I doing that to myself when I'm really liking where I'm at and how I'm feeling on the nights that I don't have that casual glass of wine or that, little margarita or whatever. And so I just made a decision. I'm not going to do that anymore. And so it's been like a couple of weeks now because I'm also that person that never waits till the first of the month or I never wait till a Monday. I just make a decision. I'm going to implement some changes and reinforce some goals. And I do it on the spot. Like I don't wait for a calendar to turn over. I decide and I implement and then it goes from there. We've also, I've also made some new health goals and fitness goals for myself as well in regards to what I want to do in my workouts. Again, I'm changing those things and implementing them now because come January, I want to be in it to win it. And I know that there are going to be some times in November and December with holidays where if I don't have my head in the game 100%, I'm going to get knocked off track. And so we are really, really diligent about what we're doing in our feasting window as well. We put a little link in there because a lot of you have been asking us about our keto meter. So we're making decisions based on what we want that test strip to say when we're testing our blood glucose and ketones. And it has really helped us create that mindset of second guessing if we're going to do something in our nutrition based on what we want that number to be. And we've really created a nice little hobby and little fun kind of what would you say, like a fun way of going about testing. And it's not torturous for us, and it's not something we feel like we're failing at. If we don't get the numbers we want, we're like, dang it, let's wait a couple hours and try again kind of thing. And it's really, really been fun for us. So for me, those are the things I'm really going to focus on personally: upping my nutrition game, making sure that I show up on my training days, training like an athlete, and then making really informed decisions by what it is I'm doing with what's showing up in my blood. And if I don't like what's in my blood, then I'm gonna have to change some of the activities I'm participating in.
Yeah, and I feel like for me, I mean, I can go back to 2017. I feel like I kind of lost my way. Like I was bored with my workouts, you know, my eating. I think by that time I'd already started some intermittent fasting, and I really wasn't doing that 100%. And so for me, like, it was all about like trying to get back on track. So towards the end of 2017, October, around the same time, I started to have some plans put in place of what it is I'm going to do with my health and my fitness.
I'm gonna go like Callie.
Grab her?
Watch out! I'm gonna go like Callie out.
Definitely having some plans on what I was going to do with my health and fitness, and so that's what I did for 2018. When I hit October, I hit the ground running. So that helped me to get my mind in the right place for, you know, what I was going to do. And what I mean by hit the ground running was October. If you wait till January, and that's kind of what I would do in the past, is like, okay, I'm going to hit this year really good. I'm looking forward to this new year, and I'm going to start January 1st. And then I don't know why that trying to do it that way just never seems to work very well. Maybe it does for some people, but it doesn't work very well for me. Trying to start on that January 1st, and then by 2 months in, you're kind of, whatever, you know. But starting in October has been a good time for me to like start hitting it hard and start planning out what it is I'm going to do. So when the new year starts, it's like you already have momentum for what it is you're doing. And that seems to work really well, because I had a great 2018. I had a great 2019 so far. And when I hit 2020, I'll be incorporating some new things, like Diane said, doing the testing. And I didn't really see myself doing the testing too much. I'm not a guy that's into like poking myself and doing that kind of stuff. So I really wasn't too excited about that. But now that I've done it a few times, it's really easy. It's really simple. It's painless, and it's a pretty good deal as far as seeing where you're at, because I was kind of doing things I'm feeling like,
And your feelings have equated to what you get for the most part. You kind of know when
yeah,
you have a heavier day of eating.
I kind of knew, but you don't really know, like, I mean, what I'm excited about is to be able to check some stuff. Like, if I eat XYZ, and what if I'm not? I mean, like, 'cause we don't follow a ketogenic diet. We follow a keto-like diet, meaning we kind of outline how we eat, like, higher fats, moderate protein, and conscious carbs. So we don't live a keto diet. We live a keto-like diet. So it's going to be interesting. Like, so far, it's been really interesting to see, like, where I'm at. Like, I've had some days where I really wasn't
as conscious in your carbs.
Yeah, I really wasn't, fasting as deep as what I usually would, and I tested, and I was doing pretty good. I was doing way better than I thought I would be. So it'd be interesting to see, like, where you can give and take, and you can hit your numbers.
Right. And everything that we do here in this community, we really do try to reinforce with a mindset. And I think the thing with testing ketones and blood glucose and all that is if I had to do it because I was diabetic, it would seem like a chore, you know, and it's a drag. But when you have the mindset of something that you get to do, like we get to test it, that's one of the reasons why I didn't want to go from pre-diabetic to diabetic. I was like, I do not want to have to do that. But now that it's a choice for us to be able to do it, the mindset we have around it is so much different. And it really is a fun thing, because the numbers that we get when we test are fun numbers and not numbers to make sure that, you know, we're whatever it is that you have to, you know, monitor when you're diabetic, and making sure that you're not getting sicker. And so I think that, you know, that's that mindset that you want to always go into things with. And that's the mindset I always train women with too. It's like, you know, if you have to be on some sort of prescription medication, or you are diabetic and you're managing it through some sort of prescription, the goal is every day when you fast that you're fasting to get out of that situation, so you have choices that you can make for yourself. And so that's been really, really fun for us. And we were talking today, and we've been talking a lot this week, that, you know, we even have some new things that we want to do in this community as well. And you know, everyone thinks that I'm like this big health coach and big nutritionist, whatever, and I am, because that's where I really find my passion. And I think it's fascinating what we can do to manipulate our body by just changing what we're doing in our nutrition. But my ultimate goal has always been, you know, in this community here now, and what I've been doing for the past 25 years, is to really help women create a mindset where they can take care of themselves, and they can have that, you know, light bulb moment of, oh, when I do these good things for myself, I look and feel a certain way. And so we're really going to start working on changing a little bit of the dialogue that we even have here coming up in the new year, and you're going to see us start practicing it here over the next couple of months. And that is, everything's going to be focused on mindset, and how do we empower ourselves, especially as women, to make sure that we are equipped to take care of ourselves. And how do we brighten up that light on our face so that we show up every day living our life with intention and purpose and loving ourselves through that process. And for me, it just so happens that I get that and I teach that with the vehicles of fitness and nutrition, because every time in my own personal life where I've been stuck in a goal, or I wanted to get to the next level, or I had to dig myself out of some emotional ditch, I've always used those two tools: fitness goals and implementing fitness into my lifestyle, and making sure that when I put things in my body, they were the best things to fuel me so that I could look and feel my best and show up my most confident self. And so those are the tools that I use to help other women do the same thing. You can do it, same thing. You can do it through many, many means. But if you have this thing on your side and you're thinking about things in a way that make whatever it is you choose to do that much easier for you, because you get to do it as opposed to have to do it, you're winning every day.
Yeah. And would you say the lifestyle has been, like, as far as your mindset, was it easier with the old way you used to live, or this new lifestyle?
Oh, this new one's way easier, because there's no rules. You just pick 2 windows in your day and you ask yourself 2 questions. Like, that's never going to change for us now, because we just know through trial and error and experience of, you know, for me doing this since I was probably in junior high school, living this diet mentality and over exercising mentality, that this way of taking care of ourselves is so much easier. And it makes sense because the season of life that we're in has changed. And we were talking about this too. I think it was yesterday. We were on a walk, and I was talking about how, you know, when I was in my 40s, like, it was so easy. How, you know, when I was in my 40s, like, it was so easy for me to be in like tip-top shape and easy now because it's in hindsight. But Michael was like, well, you got up at 5 and listen to this schedule. Got up at 5 in the morning, went to work out at the gym, came home, got the kids ready, ran with our son to school while he rode his bike. Then I ran home from school. Then I was busy all day running back and forth getting stuff done. Then I'd run back to my son's school, pick him up. I run back home. Then I'm busy with him all day. So it was like, no wonder it was super easy to stay in shape back then, because I was running like literally running all the time.
Then you would train 2 people.
And then I would train people because I was personal training and doing nutritional counseling. And so my life was all encompassed of that. And now I'm like, I sit all day, so it's like, no wonder it's harder to stay in shape. And it's not because I'm older or because I'm sick, it's because I'm in a more sedentary season. And that's a huge thing to have an aha moment about, and really give yourself some grace in the fact that let's stack on top of that you are older and your metabolism does slow down and you're losing things and your hormones change, and you're also more sedentary than you ever were in your life, because I don't have to carry around a toddler. I don't have to run back and forth 16 times a day to get them to where they need to go and pick them up. I'm not constantly getting out of the car. I drop them off at school and I'm home and I'm working on a computer and I sit and I talk to women about helping them with their goals.
And people are always shocked when we say that we have a sedentary lifestyle. Like, no, you guys don't. Not you. Yeah, we do. Like, most of the time we're sitting down, even though we have a really good productive workout.
Yeah.
That doesn't make you active.
Right.
Because we used to always be going like all the time, like all day long. Now we're pretty much, we're pretty sedentary and we work out. I mean, we have some times where we're more active, but most of the time it's pretty sedentary.
Well, and that's where, to answer your question a little further, that's where this lifestyle has really been such a blessing to me as I'm older and as my seasons of life have changed. I don't need to eat the way I ate when I was getting up at 5 and working out and then running to school and then running home and then running to school and then running home. I don't need to eat like that anymore. And so having this window of opportunity where I can just enjoy my mineralized water and have a cup of coffee and not have to stress about eating every 2 hours and taking snacks wherever I go because I'm not hypoglycemic anymore. And so it has allowed us this opportunity to even shift what it is we're planning for our goals and the lifestyle we want to have, because it's just so much easier for us. But you have to have those aha moments for sure. And then the mindset shift we're going to talk a lot about. We have a course starting on Monday with our graduates, and a lot of it's going to be about why are you thinking the way you're thinking, and what if you thought this way instead, and can you finally overcome some of those things that you've had as a challenge for you. So it's not too late to set fitness goals for yourself. It is not too late to set some nutritional goals for yourself. It's not too late to jump into something where you can get some support and training. It's just the end of a calendar season. It's not the end of anything bigger than that. And it's always good to start when you've made the decision or you've recognized that you need to make some changes or you need to implement some new goals for yourself.
Yeah, something else I started doing in 2017, and I've made improvements on it every year, is getting that screening done and getting the blood test done. So I usually have my annual physical in October, so I'm due. So I'll go in and I'll tell them straight off the bat, I want a full blood panel, everything. And I've done that the past three years in a row. I've done a full blood panel, and it kind of gives you a starting point. Like, okay, where am I? Like, what is really going on with me? I mean, like, a lot of people jump out. They want to get in shape. They want to eat healthier. They want to do all these things, but they don't really know where they're at as far as their health. You know, so it's kind of a good thing. I like to see that. Am I improving on what I was at, where I was at last year? Or, is my health deteriorating? I mean, like, I want to know so I know where to hit it when I'm taking care of myself.
Right, and so that's a goal Michael has for October, is to get his blood work done. So if you're not sure where to start, I always say just get a pen and some paper and start jotting down what it is that you want for yourself in your life, and then you just take those things and you make them into action items. And then don't wait for a significant calendar flip, or don't wait for a Monday. Don't wait for anything to get started. If you made a decision that you need to make some changes, or you need to implement some things, or you want to set some goals in place, the decision or the recognition that needs to take place is all you need to get started. So do it today. And we're doing that today and this weekend as well for the rest of our calendar year with some stuff that we want to do. And I've already implemented a lot of stuff. Y'all know I'm like easing back on the animal protein, not vegan, but I'm pulling back because I just notice I don't perform as well in my fitness, and I don't look as good as I know I can if I have too much animal protein. And I know I've already made the decision to not have any alcohol until the end of the year. And I'm doing that just because I've done that before, and I know that I'm not missing out on anything, and there's so much more for me to gain with what's really important to me and what makes me feel like I'm showing up for my best self, and that's where I'm working out and what I'm doing with what I have to do with my brain in the work that I do. I'm just so much more efficient.
Okay.
So
somebody on Facebook keeps throwing up the angry face. Okay, so if you're throwing up an angry face at what she just said about how she's eating, that's how she's eating.
Right.
You don't have to eat that way. And if that doesn't coincide with what you're trying to do with your health and fitness, don't do that.
Yeah.
I mean, like, figure out what works for you. And that's kind of what we're all about, is like, we're still trying to figure out what works for us and how we thrive in fitness. If that's not how you thrive in fitness, don't do it.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Just ignore that and do your thing.
Go broil a steak and have a beer or whatever it is you need to do.
You don't have to throw up angry faces.
Hey, we're the kind of people that have 100% respect and admiration for people who stand in what it is they want for themselves. Like, you don't have to make excuses. You don't have to apologize. You don't have to shy away. Show up as your true, most authentic, whatever it is you do self, and you're welcome. You're welcome anywhere we are.
And it's not the same for us every day. We're always trying new stuff. I mean, we tried meat, 6-7 months ago. We were trying to do a little meat phase to see how we felt on that. We didn't feel so well eating that way. But you have to test. You have to test what works for you. I always like listening to, people like Dave Asprey, and he has people on the show. They thrive in the carnivore style diets. Good for you.
Yeah.
I mean, might not be for everybody,
Yeah. But you got to try stuff. That's the biggest thing.
Right.
We would have never known had we not tried. And the same thing with fasting. Try some stuff. Try some windows. Go a little farther than you're used to. See how it works for you. It's not for everyone. And you won't know until you try. And I always say that that's the best way to go for sure. So let me see who's here on YouTube. Brenda, she's our July-August grad. Good to have you with us, girlfriend. Detoxifying Emily from Virginia. Janet, catching up with your broadcast on my way home from work. Love it when I can at least be here for part of the live. Yeah, we love having you with us as well. I am well ahead of my goals. Thanks for all of your continued support. Living my best life. 10-pound weight loss was great. However, my health is improving daily. Yeah, that's always the first and foremost thing. So I'm glad that you're getting both benefits for sure. And then Julia joining the October class. Happy birthday to me. Oh, happy birthday to you for sure.
Happy birthday.
I'm so looking forward to it. I have been fasting for 6 months, liking the consistency, but I binge. Yikes, looking forward to some help with that. Yeah. And if you, the graduates course that we're going to offer in January is going to be really good for you too. Binging is that thing. We'll talk about that one on another subject. But yeah, just live your most authentic life and then do your best for sure. And then we'll see you in the October class. Patrice, I'm sticking with my goals for this year, keeping up with my magnesium, good for you, and other minerals I need, feeling great, so I'm sticking to it, watching from New York City. Good to have you with us, girlfriend. And then Robin, catching you live from a rainy Chicago. Oh, no. She's a grad from 2018, ready to finish 2019 strong, need to take some things out of my diet, like those nuts, and go back to my 4-hour feeding window. Yeah, 4-hour feeding window is where we always go back to when we feel like we are not at that best, right? So the 20-hour fast and the 4-hour feast is our foundation always. We don't think about it. We have an off day. We feel chemically off. We feel hormonally off. We feel bloated. We feel mentally not there. It goes right back to what we know works for us, and that is that 20-hour fast. So good for you, Robin, for having that experience that you can go back to. Which device to use for ketones and blood? We put a link in the description of the YouTube channel, so you can go there for sure. I think it comes with like a 15% discount. Super easy to use. We love it. And then Janine, September 2019 grad, starting the grad course with you. Can't wait. Thanks for helping me really get into this lifestyle.
It's going to be really good. You guys are going to love it.
Lots and lots of mindset stuff, so be ready. I call it my tough love class for sure, because that's what a lot of women say that they're struggling with, is staying committed to what they say they want for themselves and allowing themselves to fall off what they know works. And so we're going to hit it hard with a lot of coursework on mindset and really establishing what it is you say you want, and then allowing yourself the opportunity to make that happen. So I'm really excited. Diane Kramer is here. Good to have you with us. This is Pennsylvania girl. Amy's here. Lori's here. Marie, Diana, Michael from the April 2019 class. Nice to have her with us today. Lynn is here, September 2019 grad. Allison from July 2018. Love having you with us. Helen, it's all trial and error.
Yep.
What works for some may not work for others.
Yeah.
It's finding the sweet spot for yourself where you find yourself thriving.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
We are all, I think someone posted something on my Facebook page saying, what is the ideal training heart rate? There's no ideal training heart rate. And if I were to go off of the quote unquote heart rate charts, how they're laid out by age, I could barely walk and my heart rate would be like in a training zone. So we have to also take into consideration who we are as individuals and what season of life that we're in. As a 53-year-old, very like intermediate to advanced runner, if I were to stay in a 53-year-old's target heart rate zone as published, I would not be able to work out to my full capacity. So the same thing with fasting hours, the same thing with feasting hours, the same thing with the types of foods that you're going to incorporate into your feasting window. We know when we do something how it makes us look and feel. We have to stop waiting for someone to tell us if that's right or wrong. There's guidelines that we should always adhere to, but the bottom line is you know you best. And so if you're eating something that someone else is eating because they say that's what you're supposed to eat to feel XYZ and it doesn't make you feel XYZ, don't eat it. If you know that from the last experience you had eating, I don't know, ho-hos or whatever, you woke up the next day feeling bloated and bad about yourself, don't eat ho-hos. Like, it's just that simple. You have to love yourself enough to give you an opportunity to wake up every day having the opportunity to love yourself. And it's just that simple. But we have to practice that to make it a habit so our mind mapping goes in that direction for sure. And it is a process. I go through it all the time. And I have to always come back to home base. And that's where I know that I have the power to choose the way I look and feel and how I think about the way I look and feel.
Yeah, and something like like Diane's saying with the heart rate chart, a lot of those are really out of date, but they do have some advanced, some more up-to-date ones that kind of follow like fit people that are our age, and that's not even absolute. You would have to actually go to a
VO2 max
yeah,
test.
like a VO2 max check, like at one of these clinics that run those kind of tests, and find out exactly where you're at as far as your heart rate zones.
Yeah. So find what you like that works for you. Even, I get a lot of women ask me about what's the perfect fitness routine to do or program to do. The one that you will wake up every morning excited about doing, right? And so many people, my whole entire life, have tried to talk me out of running. And the times in my life that I've stopped running because someone else advised me to stop running because they thought it was bad were probably some of the most emotionally trying times in my life, because running is not only my fitness, but running is my therapy. It's where I really set my brain right. It's where I talk to myself. It's where I have a lot of my deepest spiritual moments. And I just don't want to ever have to give that up because it works for me. So be careful who you're taking advice from if they're not allowing you to do the things that really do make you feel most like yourself. Right?
Yep, absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, so set those goals. If you know that there's something that's kind of weighing on your mind or kind of hanging on your heartstrings and you need to get it implemented, don't wait. Don't wait for the calendar to change. Don't wait for a Monday. Change the things today. You can make incremental changes. We're going to talk about this in our graduates course as well. Incremental changes and start incorporating some habits in small ways until you can actually get them to the point you want them to be. And then they just become solidified in your lifestyle. We also put a link for you guys too. I'm a huge Passion Planner fan. These things really do keep me focused on my goals. They help me organize my life. They help me keep all my notes squared away. This is the one I'm using this year. It's all beaten up and broken down, which I love when my planner's like this by this time of the year. And here's my new one that I'm going to be using. It's already set up with my little tabs for 2020 because I'm already planning stuff for next year. It's crazy to think about.
And that's one place I need to get better. I mean, I'm pretty good about keeping everything up here, and I rarely am writing it down. I'm trying to use my phone for most of my calendar stuff, but it's kind of nice to do this too.
Yeah, so if you need a Passion Planner or some good calendaring system, we put a link in that for you guys too. Don't wait. Get it now because you can start planning some stuff out. We have a daughter going to DC and New York in June and a son going to Spain in January. We got to start planning our life out next year. It's starting to move fast, and so you don't want to have your life on sticky notes, trust me. And a phone works fantastic, but oftentimes you got to have it on pen and paper as well. And this is a really great place to not only keep track of your everyday life, but to write out your goals and plan them, and then go back and reevaluate them as well. So that's called the Passion Planner, and there's links for you guys in the description as well. If you have never bought a Passion Planner before, I think you get like a 10% discount, and it's not expensive. I think it's like $40 something for an entire year of a planner.
I think I have a few more on there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Let's see. Facebook. No, I think Facebook is good. We got them all.
Okay.
Got them all. Okay, so my graduates, if you're in our midlife mindset shift course, your community group is open to you. So make sure you check your emails. I sent an email, and you guys are all in the group for the community. We'll hang out there for the next couple of days, introducing ourselves. Sunday at 10 a.m. I go live, or noon Central Standard Time on Sunday. I'll go live and we'll answer questions and reacquaint ourselves with one another. And then your course lessons start on Monday with a welcome. And then all the people in our community who are looking to start on a journey with us in one of our courses, our Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course is open for registration. We open registration hard this week, so we'll be talking about it so no one misses out if you're ready to jump in with us in October. October, November, and December are the 3 prime months to be in our Intermittent Fasting for Today's Aging Woman course. October will set you up for the holidays, and November and December will get you through the holidays. No reason for anyone who hangs out here with us in this community who should ever start their January feeling bad about the things that they did in October, November, and December. Y'all, we know better. We know better than to get ourselves in that holiday rut, gaining a bunch of crappy weight because we ate the cookies at the cookie exchange party for the lady in PTA or the neighbor down the street that we probably don't like that much anyway. We need to end that craziness. Just say no thank you, or take the cookies, bring them home, and throw them in the trash. We do not need to eat those things anymore. It's time for us to stand up for ourselves and make better decisions. And we're going to start working on that in our midlife mindset shift course. And for those of you ready to jump in with us on our intermittent fasting course, we start working on that in there as well. Registration's open. We start on the 5th of October.
Yep.
Anything else?
That is it.
All right. So anybody else want to join in on some goal setting with us? We always love to hear from you. Always feel free to email me or leave a comment in the comment section. We are rooting for you. And any way we can help you reach your goals through the end of 2019 so you can start 2020 strong, just let us know. We're here for you. Have a good rest of your Friday, and have a great weekend.